Morning at 8 on Fox 14.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Right now at 7, a Joplin business is helping students by purchasing lunches for those who can't. Plus, a Joplin hospital wins an appeal at the Missouri Supreme Court. And Tiffany Savona will give us our rain chances for the week. The KOAM Morning Show on Fox 14 starts now.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Chris Warner is on break, but we start today at 7 o'clock a.m. on this Wednesday morning, and a bookstore owner in Joplin is doing his part to provide for area students. KOAM's Anthony Saviallo has more.
Just off Main Street in Joplin lies a bookstore that has been a part of the community for 23 years. It has everything a good bookstore should have. A maze of shelves to get lost in, a reading chair on every corner, and every genre imaginable.
I've always had a fondness of books. I was raised around books. My grandmother, which we lived with our grandmother in Webb City, she managed 2 bookstores in Joplin.
Bob Wolf has had the pleasure of being among these bound works of art all his life. He's the proud owner of Always Buying Books, and he's no stranger to providing services to those in need.
Also have a jail outreach, and we had a gal come in, literally, when she got released, said that we had saved her life just by the books that we had sent her.
But Bob's latest campaign has less to do with books and more to do with food.
Just to help for the school lunches. I found out that some of the kids, if they get behind on paying lunches, they get a secondary lunch. And I just don't think that's right, so we're going to help what we can.
Every week, Bob donates money to area schools to help provide for student lunches. The donations come from his aptly named Book Buffet, where people can take as many books as they want in exchange for however much they want to donate.
One kid can have to eat a peanut butter sandwich while the kid across the table is eating a full hot meal. You know, it's just doesn't sound right to me. I think all schools should make free lunches available.
Bob's generosity has stretched to 16 different schools in the area, and he says he has no intention of stopping.
Yeah, it's forever. We're going to do it through the summer too, because they have breakfast, and there's no need to stop it or even take a break.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The Wheaton School District replied to the news about the donation saying, quote, "We are very grateful and thankful for his generosity in helping us out. The students and families of Wheaton, Missouri appreciate it."
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Tiffany Savona, and we are starting off dry in the 40s this morning. No 20s or 30s on the map like what we saw yesterday morning at this time. So that's a little bit of relief there. We're at 46 in Joplin, 44 in Pittsburgh, 42 degrees in Independence, 43 in Neodesha. We're at 43 in Nevada and 48 degrees in Miami. Winds are out of the south anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. They've actually increased a little bit in Joplin, and we could see wind gusts as high as 25 to 35 miles per hour throughout the day today. So you want to dress for wind chills or feels like temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, because that's what it feels like as you step outside, all thanks to the wind. Now, we are going to stay cloudy today. It'll be cloudy, breezy, and mild with temperatures rising through the upper 40s by 9, 54 by noon, 57 degrees for your high temperature by 3 o'clock. Our rain chances return as we head into tomorrow night, and we do have some rain chances to talk about if you're going to be traveling this upcoming weekend. So we'll break down your travel forecast, and we'll also take a look at your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day forecast coming up in a couple of minutes. Caitlin, back to you.
Thanks, Tiffany. Mercy Joplin wins an appeal to the Missouri Supreme Court. The case concerns a shooting that occurred in the hospital parking lot in December of 2015. According to court documents, a woman who was high on methamphetamine got a gun out of a visitor's car, then shot the gun owner in the neck. The shooting victim, Stephen Hardner, survived and sued Mercy Hospital for negligence. He claimed the hospital did not follow its own security procedures prior to the shooting. A jury found Mercy liable. Now, Mercy has won its appeal after the Missouri Supreme Court found there was insufficient evidence that the hospital had any reason to know that the woman was dangerous. And a Southeast Kansas manufacturer will pay for alleged environmental violations. Cobalt Boats will pay nearly $134,000 in civil penalties because of alleged violations at its plant in Neodesha, Kansas. The Environmental Protection Agency says the boat manufacturing facility failed to comply with regulations intended to prevent releases of hazardous waste. The EPA cites violations concerning storage, monitoring, and precautionary procedures, as well as record keeping. The agency says Cobalt has taken steps to comply with the regulations. And students at Stapleton Elementary in Joplin yesterday taped their principal to the wall. Now this is all for a reward of a food drive. The students have been collecting food for the past several days. The class that collected the most had the honor of taping the school's principal, Casey Plyler, to the wall. Officials say it's a good way to encourage his students to give back to those in need.
So we on the SOAR team believe that it's important for our students to know how to give back in their community to make a difference and to know how it is to give without needing a return. So in order to show them that, we made this more personal for them to show them how their giving can be fun.
This reward comes after the students surpassed their goal of collecting at least 2,000 cans of food. And there's only 5 days left until Christmas, and you know what that means. It's once again time for our annual Pictures with Santa segment. First up, we have Cashton Ripple, age 18 months old, from Columbus, Kansas. Then we've got a group of 5, Jolie, Carter, Kyson, Knox, and Crew Dickerson, ages 7, 6, 4, 1, and 4 months, from Mulberry, Kansas. Next up, we have Indy Clummer, age 1, from McCune, Kansas. And last but certainly not least, we close out today's Pictures with Santa with Jaylee Girls. Jaylee Girls is age 6, from Girard, Kansas. Now we're going to be showcasing even more Pictures with Santa over the course of the week on the KOAM Morning News. But up next, Katie Townsend will be with us to share some ideas on how to make more out of your 4-H activity. And later, we'll have some tips on how to keep your holiday season holly jolly for those who may experience sensory overload. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
The Christmas shop in Pittsburgh, Kansas is open for the holidays.
Weezer's maternal RSV vaccine, Abrysvo.
In Health Watch this morning, a new vaccine could be life-changing for some cancer patients. A treatment from Annexa Biosciences, the biotechnology company, is designed to prevent the recurrence of the most aggressive form of breast cancer. The vaccine is distributed in a series of 3 shots and could eventually eliminate other forms of cancer. Approval for human testing was granted by the Food and Drug Administration back in 2021, and the first series of shots were administered in October of that year. For now, the company is only testing the shots on women who have triple-negative breast cancer since it has a high recurrence rate, but the vaccine could eventually be tested on women with other types of breast cancer. A possible breakthrough for pregnant women struggling to cope with extreme morning sickness. Scientists now say they've pinpointed the cause behind it. The culprit, a hormone called GDF-15. Researchers say the amount of that hormone circulating in a woman's bloodstream during and even before pregnancy can be the driving factor behind how severe her symptoms are. Women with hyperemesis had significantly higher levels of that GDF-15 hormone during pregnancy. Researchers say GDF-15 is released by tissue in response to stress, and its brain signal is highly specific. Its receptors are located in the part of the brain responsible for feeling sick. Experts say the study findings offer hope for the treatment of the condition. And as people come together to celebrate the holidays and enjoy the winter break, neurodiverse families often contend with extra challenges brought on by sensory overload, changes in routine, and all of the varied social interactions. But there are ways that parents and loved ones can navigate the Christmas time chaos and end-of-year excitement to keep things merry and bright. Gloria Pazmino has more tips and tricks to help have a holly jolly, sensory-friendly holiday.
Sometimes the things that make the holiday season sensational can also lead to sensory overload, especially for neurodivergent children.
We love the holidays. They are so exciting, but often some of the things that make them so exciting can be really overwhelming and difficult for our kids.
For those families, that means enjoying timeless traditions like food, travel, and gifts often comes with significant challenges. But Kayleen George of AutisticMama.com says there's a lot parents can do to keep the holidays calm and bright. And it all starts with managing expectations.
Focus on what is reality for our family right now. It may not look like the picture that's in your head, and that's okay.
Setting expectations for kids, too, is key, particularly when traveling. To help, George recommends showing them what every step of the journey will look like.
If we are going to grandma's house and it's not somewhere we typically go, having a picture of grandma's house or grandma at her house, having a picture of what the chairs look like there.
She also says to establish priorities and accept that your holiday may just be a little different.
You are allowed to step back and say, right now, we're going to bake cookies and we're going to make it to the holiday. And that's as much as I can do right now. And that's still a beautiful and magical holiday for your family.
I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
And those are our top stories for Health Watch this morning. Now coming up, a Joplin real estate agent donates more than $21,000 to the Ronald McDonald House. You're watching the KOAM Morning Show on Fox 14.
The holiday season is upon.
Good morning and welcome back. Can you believe the official start to winter is tomorrow? Tomorrow night to be exact at 9:27. So tomorrow will be the shortest day of the year. In Joplin tomorrow we will have exactly 9 hours and 36 minutes of daylight. Once we get to Friday, that number will increase. So the days will continue to get longer once we get past tomorrow. That's a good sign. Downtown Joplin is quiet, except there is a bit of a breeze out there. You'll probably notice that once you step outside. Temperatures are in the 40s, though. Not bad considering we were in the 20s and 30s at this time yesterday morning. So we're at 46 in Joplin, 45 in Neosho, 46 in Carthage, Fort Scott checking in at 42, 44 in Pittsburgh, we're at 44 in Parsons, and 46 degrees in Grove. Now you have to dress for temperatures in the 30s though because of that breeze. So here are the feels like temperatures across the board. We're looking at feels like temperatures or wind chills in the mid to upper 30s. That's what it feels like as you step outside this morning. The clouds are here and they are here to stay. So today will end up being cloudy, mild, and breezy. We could see wind gusts as high as 30, maybe 35 miles per hour through the afternoon hours with highs in the mid to upper 50s. So temperatures similar to what we saw yesterday. Overnight tonight, cloudy, not much change. Temperatures slowly drop into the upper 40s. By tomorrow morning, as you're heading off to work, there may be a couple of sprinkles out there. Nothing more than that. I know our future track computer model trying to show a couple of showers, but I think a lot of that activity will not reach the ground because we're so dry. However, once we get into tomorrow evening across our far western Kansas communities and into Oklahoma, that's when the showers will start to roll in and overspread the area tomorrow night. So we're looking at a wet Thursday night for you, and the rain looks like it will linger into Friday morning across the four-state region before tapering off by Friday afternoon. And Friday, we're looking at highs back in the mid to upper 50s once again. So a good 10 degrees above average for this time of year. Let's fast forward to the weekend. That's when a lot of you will probably be traveling for the upcoming Christmas holiday. Saturday morning into the early afternoon, you're going to be just fine. But our storm system out to the west gets a little bit closer to us, so showers will increase Saturday evening and especially Saturday night into the day on Sunday. Sunday looks like the wettest day. If you can avoid traveling on Sunday, it's a good idea to do so. Otherwise, you'll be driving in rain and maybe even a few thunderstorms. Sunday evening, Sunday night, the rain continues, and even as you're waking up Christmas morning, as the kids are waking up, it's probably going to be raining outside on your Monday, but then we'll dry things out by Monday afternoon. Closer look at your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day forecast. Rain and a few storms likely on Sunday. Sunday looking like the wettest day out of the next 7, so you want to prepare for that. 61 degrees. If you're going to those church services, make sure you have the rain gear on standby. Rain will linger into Monday morning, but then it looks like we'll dry things out Monday afternoon. This year will be much warmer compared to what we saw last year, right? With temperatures in the 30s last year, 52 this Christmas afternoon. And then the mild weather continues through the holiday, but then we'll start to see some changes once we get beyond that 7-day forecast. So rain chances are in the forecast, wrapping up the end of the week and into the upcoming holiday weekend. Tuesday, we're colder, 45 degrees. So after being mild for much of the month, the last couple days in the month of December will be on a chilly note with highs in the 40s and lows in the 20s.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Mayhap. Buy one large single topping pizza, get the second 50% off. Only at Casey's.
When you typically think of 4-H, you may think of kids working on their own, but have you ever thought of a 4-H activity that could be something the whole family could enjoy? Well, Katie Townsend joins us this morning to tell us how a 4-H activity can be more. Welcome, Katie.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. So tell us, how do we incorporate family into 4-H?
Yeah, so last time I came on, I talked about how myself as an agent can go into the schools and do school enrichment activities. And so today I wanted to talk about the more traditional 4-H aspect of my job and how it's really truly an entire family activity, and how we want people to know that 4-H is something that I brought a few example projects with me this morning and explain how you do these as a family unit. So you come to meetings as a family. It doesn't matter if you have younger siblings that aren't quite old enough to be in 4-H yet. We'd love to bring them to the meetings with you. You attend a traditional meeting, you pick out a project, and then you're going to work on that project. And typically it happens as a family because, so I'm going to
tell us, you brought some goodies here. So
like, for example, if a kid was going to make a cutting board for a 4-H project, this isn't something that they're going to go do without adult supervision. So, and it doesn't matter, maybe it's not your family unit that's helping you do this, but we put you in connection with a community member or a volunteer that would love to help a kid make some type of a cutting board.
And that's a cool one too. I love it.
Yeah. So
makes for great gifts.
And we have lots of resources in Southeast Kansas that, if you don't have these tools at home, we have lots of fab labs and maker
wood cutters,
spaces.
right? Because I just don't seem to have that at home, so that's nice.
Right.
Parents can come and enjoy that.
Yeah. So truly, if your family has a project that you would like to tackle, like, we can put you in touch with the resources to make that happen and to do it as a family unit and build those memories and hands-on experiences.
I love that. Now, this one really interests me. These are pillowcases that you can sew. And, I think everyone needs to learn how to sew. I can't tell you how many times I need to learn that skill set. So maybe I'll sign up for your guys' 4-H. But this is great. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so I did a sewing camp about a year ago. And, at sewing camp, I bring in the machines and the materials, and then the kids are supposed to come with some type of helper, whether that be mom, grandma, dad, aunt, uncle. It doesn't matter who it is, but you have to come with some type of helper to help you sew, because I can't be at all the machines at once. And so they made these pillowcases, which they then donated to the local nursing home. So I kept one or two out to show as examples, but that's a great example of how we will give you the tools and the resources, sometimes even the supplies to do things. You just have to come learn together, make the memories, and then we used it as a volunteer project and donated it afterwards.
I love that. Well, Katie, as always, thank you for joining us on this Wildcat Wednesday, and stick around because we got more news coming up.
Merry Christmas from the entire Ron Supermarket family.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:28 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. A Joplin real estate agency yesterday donated more than $21,000 to the Ronald McDonald House. Reese Nichols raised the money by having agents donate $100 for every home they help buy or sell from April through October. That money will help provide 211 free nights of lodging and support for families in need of the Ronald McDonald House's services.
Because it's a way to give back, and it's just such an impactful thing. We help families find homes, and the Ronald McDonald House provides homes for families when they have a child in the hospital, and it's just a very meaningful, feel-good way.
The donations were part of Reese Nicole's Gold Key project. Across the country, the project raised more than $300,000. And Major 7 gets in on the giving by donating to the Joplin Schools Foundation. As part of this fall's annual foundation fundraiser, Major 7 presented a check for more than $24,000. Funds raised through the program benefit the Joplin Schools Foundation and Joplin Schools. Since 2002, this program has raised more than $581,000 for Joplin schools. A Freeman fundraiser also brought in big bucks for another area charity. Yesterday, the health provider hosted its 4th annual Christmas T-shirt themed fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. The fundraiser brought in nearly $3,500 to continue to provide support for local sick and injured kids.
Anywhere from $20 gas cards to $100 gas cards. We're sending kids all across the state, all across the country, helping with travel expenses. $4,000 can go a long way in gas for parents who may or may not be able to get their kids to those specialty trips.
These funds to CMN also go to provide life-saving medications and such programs as Higgins Heroes and the Miracle Service Dog Program. The Coffeyville, Kansas Police Department wants to make sure the Grinch doesn't steal your Christmas. They released this video apparently confirming that the Grinch was spotted coming into town. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. GPS had been tracking his ankle monitor, which has since been removed. Coffeyville PD wants to make sure the public has all of their gifts locked up and secure and asks everyone to please keep their eyes open for this green menace. Carthage residents went on an evening jog through a light display. Carthage Nazarene hosted the Run Through the Lights event. Folks were able to run, walk, or jog through the way of the Salvation Light displays as part of a group. The course was 1 mile long, but there was also an option for people to go another 4 miles through the Carthage Square to sparkle in the park at Central Park. Before returning to Fairview Nazarene Church, let's go to Tiffany for a look at the weather. That was abrupt.
That is because we do have a breeze out of the south, anywhere between 10 and 20 miles per hour. But unfortunately, don't expect much in the way of sunshine today. Temperatures are not bad, considering we were in the 20s and 30s at this time yesterday. It's 46 in Joplin, 45 in Neosho, 48 in Miami, 44 in Parsons, and we're at 42 degrees in Sedan. Same for Yates Center in Kansas. Here are the winds. They're breezy, like I mentioned, out of the south, anywhere between 8 and about 19 miles per hour. They will likely increase a little bit more as we go throughout the morning and early afternoon. These are the numbers you'll want to dress for, though. Here are the feels like temperatures or the wind chill values. So due to that breezy wind, it feels more like the upper 30s and lower 40s across the 4-state area. So be sure to bundle up as you head out, as you know to do this time of year. If your kiddo has school today, well, they'll likely encounter the clouds at the bus stop. No rain, 46 degrees. That wind making it feel a little bit colder, but as they're heading home from the bus, 57 degrees. We could see those wind gusts as high as 30, maybe even 35 miles per hour. Our rain chances return as we head into tomorrow night. We'll let you know how long they last, and we'll look ahead to our active weather that we're expecting as we head into the upcoming weekend coming up in a bit. Caitlin, back to you.
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A TikTok video is making a name for itself. Fernanda Silva will share the details.
High winds.
And if you were scrolling on social media in the past couple of weeks, you probably watched a video made by a Joplin resident that is going viral. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
The video that has millions and millions of views shows the plate's presentation. It features a volcano made with mashed potatoes with the lava crafted from gravy. Broccoli, asparagus, mushrooms, and dinosaur-shaped nuggets add to the microenvironment.
I felt like a little kid. I mean, I got so excited. It was, I wasn't expecting it at all, but I really wanted it, and I had completely forgotten how much I actually wanted until I saw it.
No way! I totally forgot I wanted that.
Juan Laporta's birthday dinner organized by his girlfriend went viral on social media at the beginning of the month. Juan forgot about it, but his girlfriend, Celine Fayad, did not.
I first just wanted to film his reaction because I knew he was going to react to it. Like, I knew he was not suspecting.
She shared the video with their family and friends. Then she decided to post it on TikTok.
You wake up the next day and, you know, my friend told me that it's like at 600,000 views, and I was like, okay, this is probably the end, right? Like, it should probably stop at this point. And then it just kept going, and I kept waking up, and I'm not going to lie, it did distract me from studying.
Celine and Juan are both second-year students at KCU.
Just being in med school or just working all the time, it's stressful. So having an outlet like that, and just to be able to just like kind of let go and just be playful and, you know, childish, but, you know, in a wholesome manner, I think it was really nice.
Now, they also have a plan B.
I mean, I guess if school fails, then, like, I guess I'll do TikTok. No, I'm kidding.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The video currently has 13 million views and almost 1.7 million likes on TikTok, but also reposted by other pages, adding bigger numbers to the count. Coming up, if you haven't gotten your Christmas shopping down yet, there's still time. We'll hear how retailers are working to improve their delivery times.
We'll be happy you did. Thanks, Christy.
Thank you.
Should I get up on the wall and do Consumer Watch?
In the way of sunshine, 46 degrees in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh. We are dry across the region, and we're expecting to stay dry today with temperatures in the 40s to start off your Wednesday. Keep in mind, yesterday at this time, we were in the 20s and 30s. So big change there, all thanks to the wind and the cloud cover overnight. It's currently 46 in Joplin, 45 in Pittsburgh, 44 in Parsons. Neodesha, you're at 44 degrees. We're at 48 in Miami and 40 degrees in Bentonville. But you'll want to dress for temperatures in the mid to upper 30s because this is what it feels like when you factor in that southerly breeze at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Clouds are here, and they are here to stay. They're not going anywhere today. In fact, high temperatures are still going to be on the mild side despite the cloud cover. Highs in the mid to upper 50s. Very similar to what we saw yesterday as far as temperatures go. Not much change overnight. Temperatures slowly drop into the upper 40s to near 50 degrees. The winds will diminish overnight as well. Tomorrow morning, maybe a few sprinkles. Nothing more than that. I think the rain is really going to hold off until Thursday evening. Notice the showers start to roll into our westernmost communities in Kansas and Oklahoma by 5, 6 o'clock on your Thursday. And then the rain just increases as it pushes eastward. So it will be a rainy Thursday night for you. Rainy start to your Friday across many locations, but the rain will clear out by Friday afternoon. Friday still cloudy with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Surprise, surprise. As we take you into the weekend, that's when we're going to start to see some changes. Notice that large dip in the jet stream to our west. Here we are Saturday morning. We're dry Saturday morning, so if you're headed out, maybe you're driving regionally somewhere for Christmas, the weather is going to be dry. However, as we get into the afternoon and evening hours on Saturday, notice how the showers start to push in. Sunday is looking like the wettest day out of the next 7. So if you can avoid traveling on Sunday, I would do so. Otherwise, you're going to be driving in the rain. There may even be a few thunderstorms, and it looks like the rain will linger throughout much of the day and even into your Christmas morning. So Santa's probably going to get wet as Santa rides over the 4-state area. Now, by Monday afternoon, I think we're going to dry things out. So let's take a closer look at your Christmas Eve and Christmas Day forecast. Sunday, rain and a few storms likely most of the day, 61, so have that rain gear ready to go. Rain will linger into your Christmas morning, 52 degrees. So the mild weather continues. Keep in mind, last Christmas Day, we were only in the middle 30s. Big change from year to year. 7-day forecast showing that winter officially begins tomorrow night, but it's not going to feel like winter here in the 4-state area, at least through the holidays. Then once we get past Monday, notice it's like we switch over to a colder end to the month. Last couple of days, highs in the 40s and lows in the 20s. Caitlin, back to you.
In Consumer Watch this morning, airport security will soon look similar to self-checkout queues at the grocery store. The Transportation Security Administration has partnered with the Science and Technology Directorate to create a self-checkout style security line that allows pre-checked passengers to efficiently scan themselves and their bags. Both companies say the goal for the new technology is to keep travelers and transportation security officers safer and to keep the line moving by reducing contact between the two, as well as the number of bags agents have to pick up and move around. The new technology will be tested in Las Vegas next month and then rolled out into airports nationwide. Comcast is now notifying Xfinity customers of a data breach that exposed the personal information of millions of people. Comcast, which owns Xfinity, announced on Monday that there was unauthorized access to its systems in mid-October. In a filing with Maine's Attorney General's office, Comcast says more than 35 million people were affected by the data breach. The personal information exposed includes customers' usernames and passwords, birth dates, and social security numbers. The company is asking customers to change their passwords and turn on two-factor authentication. Some people who owe back taxes are getting some relief. The Internal Revenue Service says it will waive around $1 billion in penalty fees for people who owe less than $100,000 in back taxes per year. The relief applies to the tax years 2020 and 2021. The agency says about 5 million people, businesses, and tax-exempt organizations will be eligible for the relief, which begins this week. The IRS attributes its suspension of mailing automated reminders on overdue tax bills in February of 2022 as a reason for waiving failure to pay penalties. IRS officials say the relief is meant to be a one-time occurrence. Figuring out what to get your loved ones for a holiday can be a challenge on its own, but hoping your purchases get shipped in time for Christmas is a whole other beast, especially if you waited till the last minute to click buy. This year, though, retail experts say late shoppers may still be able to get many of their presents before the 25th. Fox News' Chris Dimio finds out why.
With the countdown to Christmas ticking away,
Christmas bells are ringing.
The race is on for those who still have to buy last-minute gifts. If you're ordering something online, you might be anxiously tracking your purchase to see if it will arrive before the 25th. But this year, retail experts say you may be in luck, citing how major companies have been increasing their delivery speeds to help get packages to your doorstep in time for Christmas.
Amazon, Walmart, and Target have all been working to increase their shipping speeds this year. For Walmart and Target in particular, it's more about narrowing the gap that currently exists between them and Amazon.
So, how are they trying to pull off this holiday magic?
Amazon has a new distribution model, which currently basically splits the country up into 8 regions. And what that does, according to the company, is get items to customers faster because a lot of the products are shipped from warehouses in those specific areas.
Amazon says the strategy not only ramps up shipping speeds, but also leads to lower prices because there's fewer facilities and workers handling the products. Walmart and Target are also improving the efficiency of their warehouses.
Walmart fulfills online orders from its stores across the country. Last month, the company said it would be adding 40 parcel stations to stores in 9 different states. And they say these are basically like mini post offices that handle online orders and get them out to consumers faster. Target announced a $100 million investment in sortation centers, and these are basically warehouses that get online orders for Target deliveries and get them out to consumers faster.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
That's a look at your Consumer Watch this morning. We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Charlie Sticklin.
And I'm Sarah.
Millions, but also making history. Next, Tamron Hall.
Tamron Hall, this morning at 10, right here on Fox 14.
More than 200 tow trucks give a parade for patients at Children's Hospital in Michigan. Fox's Camille Amiri has the story, including why one of the motivators for the parade's organizers.
We started this event 6 years ago. This event kind of holds a special place for me. I have 3 boys that were all in Children's Hospital over a holiday at one point in time.
200 tow trucks lighting up the sky in front of Children's Hospital Sunday night.
We light up the night for these kids, and it's an amazing thing to see. The kids stand in the windows, they come out front with flashlights, they wave to us, we wave back.
A Christmas tradition, cheering up kids who are hospitalized during the holiday season.
It was lonely, it was cold. You feel like you're forgotten about, you're without your family.
For me, it's just sentimental because I was there. You know, I was diagnosed with brain cancer when I was 16. So, you know, I lived at Children's for 6 to 8 months, you know, doing chemo, radiation, and all that stuff. So it hits me a little harder.
DeIvory Terry Lucas stopping by the event before going into the hospital for dialysis.
Today is Christmas, and Christmas is my favorite holiday.
What do you think about all these tow trucks?
That is so nice and cool.
Dad Orlando.
He loves cars, so I had to make that stop for him.
Not only is this an incredibly special event for the children, the tow truck drivers in the parade say this is one of the highlights of their holiday season.
It's just so amazing that we can somehow give the kids in there just like a little bit more hope in like this season of the year.
In Detroit, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
A special parade indeed. Well, now let's take it over to Tiffany with your midweek forecast.
We are starting off with a lot of clouds as we take a live look out of our Indigo Sky camera there. They're mainly mid and high level clouds, so some of you may see a few peaks of sun this morning. That is about it because those clouds will continue to increase and thicken throughout the day. Right now it's 48 degrees in Miami, it's 46 in Joplin, it's 45 in Lamar, 45 in Anderson, 44 in Chanute and 44 degrees in Neodesha. Our winds are out of the south anywhere between 10 and 20 miles per hour, so they're breezy and they will continue to be within this range as we go into the afternoon hours. We could see gusts as high as 30, maybe even 35 miles per hour. So here's how you can plan the rest of your Wednesday. 48 degrees by 9. We're up into the middle 50s by noon. 57 for your high temperature today. You can leave that umbrella at home, but our rain chances will be back in the forecast tomorrow night, and it's looking like a pretty active weekend weather-wise. So we'll show you that 10-day forecast one last time coming up toward the end of the show. And we'll have more news and weather right after this break.
It's a candy cane cash craze. Salute Claire Olt, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A Southeast Kansas manufacturer will pay for alleged environmental violations. Cobalt Bolts will pay nearly $134,000 in civil penalties because of alleged violations at its plant in Neodesha, Kansas. The Environmental Protection Agency says the boat manufacturing facility failed to comply with regulations intended to prevent releases of hazardous waste. The EPA cites violations concerning storage, monitoring, and precautionary procedures, as well as record keeping. The agency says Cobalt has taken steps to comply with the regulations. Mercy Joplin wins an appeal to the Missouri Supreme Court. The case concerns a shooting that occurred in the hospital parking lot in December of 2015. According to court documents, a woman who was high on methamphetamine got a gun out of a visitor's car, then shot the gun owner in the neck. The shooting victim, Steve Hardner, survived and sued Mercy Hospital for negligence. He claimed the hospital did not follow its own security procedures prior to the shooting. The jury found Mercy liable. Now, Mercy has won its appeal after the Missouri Supreme Court found there was insufficient evidence that the hospital had reason to know that the woman was dangerous. And students at Stapleton Elementary in Joplin yesterday taped their principal to the wall. This was a reward for a food drive. The students have been collecting food for the past several days, and the classes that collected the most had the honor of taping the school's principal, Casey Pyler, to the wall. Officials say it's a good way to encourage the students to give back to those in need. This reward comes after the students surpassed their goal of collecting at least 2,000 cans of food. Now let's toss it over to Tiffany.
Good morning, and one last look at your 7-day forecast. We're cloudy, we're breezy today, 57. Winter officially begins tomorrow, but it's not going to feel like that. A couple of sprinkles possible on Thursday, better chances for rain Thursday night into the day on Friday. Weather pattern becomes more active this weekend. Showers push back in Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Sunday looks like the wettest day out of the next 7, and then that rain looks like it will linger into Christmas morning. It will be a mild Christmas day, 52, compared to last Christmas where highs were in the 30s. But it will turn cooler as we round out the month of December. Temperatures drop into the 40s by the middle to end of next week. Caitlin?
And get ready to go dashing through the snow to bring joy to the world. Wednesday is Go Caroling Day. It's a time to walk door to door singing Christmas songs in groups. The day is near the winter solstice since pagans started caroling to celebrate that day. Now Christians sing holiday music to celebrate the birth of Jesus at Christmas. People of other faiths can join in the fun with secular carols like Frosty the Snowman. And thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather at noon. Have a great day.